As I promised, I am here with the first of what will be several videos of my Q&A series. I recently asked my TikTok and Instagram followers what they want to know about me and what I do. And today we are going to be covering all of the cosplay questions that I have received so far on my Instagram and TikTok post. If you would like to ask me further questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments. Also be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Liking this video helps it get seen by other people in the algorithm who enjoy the same things that we enjoy, and subscribing makes sure that you'll be here for the next one when I answer your question. All right, so let's just dig in. All right, the first question is from TikTok. It's from NDW Come AU. I believe that's supposed to be at you, or abbreviation for it. I don't know. If I'm wrong and that's your username, let me know down in the comments what that username stands for. How did you start out cosplaying? I want to do so many cosplays, but I am not very artistic. I feel like when we see cosplay content online, it's people doing a lot of high skill tutorials. They are masters in foam smithing or sewing. We don't see a lot of the entry-level cosplaying. So if you are like this person, don't feel like you need to have big artistic skills right off the bat. It is totally okay for your first cosplay to be nothing more than a t-shirt and a wig that you buy online. Everyone starts somewhere, so don't feel like you have to be super artistic or have the skill set that a lot of other cosplayers who have been doing this for a long time have. That's the first thing. Let's get that out of the way. How did I get started cosplaying? I was bored. That's it. That's the reason. It was early in the pandemic. I had recently graduated from school and lost my job. So I was sitting home playing D&D with my friends to pass the time, and I thought, you know, it would be kind of fun if I had the outfit that my character wore and I cosplayed my outfit and just add an extra little bit of depth to the roleplay. And that is how my cosplay for Lucy over here, she's always in the corner. That's how my cosplay for her started. It was just me in a blonde wig, wearing a white t-shirt, because at the time she primarily wore a white blouse, and it just kind of spiraled upwards from there. I found a white blouse that I much prefer, which is the one you now see me wearing under her vest and jacket in all my TikToks. And I built outward from the top. I now have a full outfit complete with shoes, pants, overcoat, jewelry, hair accessories. I have it all for her, and it's a lot of fun to get to play her and create content centered around her. Yeah, I was bored. The next question comes from Lauren Illustrations. I hope I'm saying that right. Which cosplay is the most fun for you to play and why? I don't think that I have a favorite cosplay. They're all fun for different reasons. When I started out, I was cosplaying Lucy, Delilah, and Morgan, and they're all very different from one another, so they all give off a different vibe, and I get to be a completely different person when I wear each one, which I think is what the magic is of cosplay. You get to be someone other than yourself, kind of like when you're acting. Yeah, I don't really have a favorite. I really enjoy putting all of them on. I love the girls that I play for a different reason, each one. Okay, and let's see, next question. Oh, this is actually for Delilah. Have you ever used your loot as a club? Hey, hold up. I want to tell them. Please. Well, how'd you get in here? I picked the lock at your back door, and then I threw Max a steak. You might want to get some better security or a more vigilant guard dog. It's easy. Okay, well, if you want to answer, go ahead. Great. No, I have not, because musical instruments are expensive, and also my lute was my mother's, and she's not around anymore. So, no, don't use your musical instruments as well. Don't do that. All right, next one is also from Instagram. It's from the Jolly Ghost. How has cosplaying affected you mentally, and how has it affected your relationships? I hope this is a serious question and not one that's meant to be knocking down cosplayers. But it's a great creative outlet for anyone who is looking for a creative outfit. For me, it's a great creative outlet. Like anything else, like when I'm quilting or when I'm painting digitally, it's fun. Okay, next question. This is from That Nerdy Nerd. So I'm struggling with getting colored contacts in my eyes for cosplay. I could really use some helpful tips or tricks. I don't use colored contacts. I do wear glasses and contacts, but my prescription is very high, so they don't make them in my prescription, unfortunately. As far as tips and tricks for contacts, if you're not used to wearing contacts, practice. As someone who's been wearing contacts since they were in middle school, it takes practice to get used to. There's not really much of a tip or a trick to getting them in your eyes. If you need assistance, you can reach out to an ophthalmologist and see if someone in their office can schedule time with you to assist you. But primarily, it's a process that takes getting used to. So that's really all I can suggest is just take your time with it. When you haven't spent your time doing your makeup and you're ready to put them in, just take some time with them and I guess just get to know your contacts. Get to know your contacts. Coming to a dating app near you. Next question comes from Instagram as well. Andy Wildlander asks, is that your real hair or a wig? I'm wearing a wig in that video. I wear a wig for all of my cosplays. This comes from my friend Jaden. How do you decide which characters to make full cosplay of? Do you have a favorite one to portray? I don't have a favorite one, as I've already said. I primarily do the girls now that I play on stream and games. Primarily, my content centers around Lowry Moon, who is my Spore Druid, who you all may recognize her hat that's sitting right behind me, and Lucy. I focus primarily on those because it's sort of a extra marketing. People see me playing them and cosplaying as them on TikTok and Instagram, and that then directs them to the games, and they get to see me play them live and get to experience those girls in their journey in real time. Okay, next question comes from A Gray Witch. How do you set up your backgrounds for the cosplays? I want to cosplay for TikTok, but just when I get over costume fright, the background stumps me. There's a few ways that you can go about doing backgrounds. The two easiest ways are to either purchase a background and tack it up on a frame or something behind you. I use photography backdrops that I purchase off of Amazon and from photography websites. I have been very, very fortunate that a couple of my followers have also purchased some for me as well off of my Amazon wishlist. If you have the space to do it, that looks better in my opinion than the second option, which is to take a static image and green screen it behind you. You can either film yourself with a camera and do the editing in a editing software. Some people do it right in OBS. Some people do it using Premiere Pro or Final Cut. Or you can also there's a green screen feature in TikTok's app. It's not very good, but that's another way if you don't have the space to do a physical backdrop, that you can have a backdrop behind your character that isn't just, a blank wall or your bookshelf full of D&D books. If anyone would like a in-depth tutorial on how I set up for filming TikToks with a full background and lighting and everything, feel free to leave a comment down below. I am more than happy to film that if y'all are interested in it. But if you're not, then I won't do it. I won't. Well, I still might. I'll put a pin in it. All right. Next question for Poppy. This is from Ninja Nurse over on TikTok. What is her favorite food? Oh, we're doing a video today? I am happy to answer my adoring fans. Hi, honeys. How are you? Look, y'all are gonna have to stop interrupting me, okay? I'm merely here to respond to the people and make sure that they have all the juicy tidbits about my life and my story that they could possibly want. Are you done? Fine. Yes, I am. Thank you. And for the record, I prefer O negative. I'm gonna get back to the rest of the questions. All right, Queen Bean. I like that username. Queen Bean asks, how do you pick a good wig for a cosplay if you're shopping online? Any stores you would recommend? I really don't want to dye my hair. Yeah, don't Unless you really love the hairstyle and the hair color of a cosplay, don't dye your hair just for a cosplay. You're probably only wearing it to a convention or to film like a couple TikToks. Don't put your hair through that stress. I purchase all of my wigs off of Amazon. The easiest way without doing a full tutorial, which again, if you want a full shopping tutorial on how I would shop for and purchase a wig, put it in the comments down below. I am more than happy to do that for you all. But the short answer is to look at wigs that have reviews and look at the photos that people who have actually purchased that wig have posted of said wig and of the wig on their head. Next question comes from Ninja Nurse 1. What piece of advice would you give someone who wants to try cosplaying? Do it. That's my advice, is just do it. A lot of people will get hung up on whether they're good enough, whether they look the part, how they look in the costume. Cosplay is all about celebrating a character and your love for a character or a certain franchise, so just do it. If you have the ability to make the costume, make it. If you have to purchase the costume from a shop, either on Etsy or somewhere else that specializes in crafting cosplays for people because you just don't have the skill set yet, do it. You know, get in there, do it, and join in the fun. Also, if you decide to cosplay a new character after this, let me know down in the comments what it is and where I can find it so that I can go like your content too. I'm gonna meet so many cosplayers. Next one is from Jamie Gitsy. How do you get your wigs to stay on your head? Also, does your head itch when you wear them? And if so, how do you make the itching stop? If a wig is causing your head to itch, it's probably a lower quality wig. There might be some like hair fibers poking through the wig cap at your scalp, but a wig shouldn't make your head itch. The other thing that could cause it might be something to do with the health of your scalp or just the way your hair is sitting under the wig. The key is going to be to get your hair as flat as possible to your head, put a wig cap on, and then put your wig on. And as far as getting it to stay on your head, that's gonna depend on the style of wig. With mine, I just cut the lace, tighten them to where I need them, and most days I just use the elastics that come in the back to make the wig cap tight enough that it stays on my head. You can also pin them to your head if you have one that has a lot of weight to it. Some people will wear wigs, then attach ponytails to them, so they'll also use like clips and glue to hold them down. If I'm gonna be out at a convention and I'm wearing Lucy's wig, for instance, where it has like half of it pulled back and the whole line in front of my ears exposed, I will glue her wig down. If you are interested in seeing how I would glue a wig down, leave a comment down below. There's a lot of videos about it already out on YouTube. So if you just search gluing down a synthetic wig or glue down a lace front wig, you're gonna find a whole slew of tutorials. That's how I learned. But if you wanna see how I do it, okay, leave a comment, let me know. Next question is from TikTok. It's from Raven. How long did it take you to create your characters? Backstory, character sheets, and costumes. Backstories and character sheets, those go pretty quickly for me. All of my characters have started out at low levels, so as long as I pick what race and class I want to play in D&D, those are the two hardest decisions, but it usually takes me about 10-20 minutes to think up a character concept, come up with a backstory for them, and then finalize their character sheet. As far as costumes go, Morgan, Delilah, Poppy, and Lucy, all of their items are things that I have either thrifted or purchased online, and I've just modified them to fit my needs. Lucy especially, I found the beautiful faux velvet coat that I wear for her. It's actually a men's coat off of Amazon that had an attached vest. That I removed the vest. I created new fastenings for it where the vest would have kept it closed. And I took all of the dark green embroidery and I painted it gold. I also removed the cheap lace cuffs that were on the jacket and replaced them with a layered lace cuff and lining as well. And it added so much more to the coat. If you want to see the original coat, I believe it is still for sale on Amazon. You can check in the cosplay shopping list linked in the description. I believe it's titled Merch Store and More, where you can also go and get some Hype Goblin merch. Hi everyone, Editor Sarah here. I completely forgot at this point to talk about Lowry Moon. Her costume was fully created by me. I took about 8 hours to create the hat, and the shirt and bodice took about another day or two to create, just because I kept getting interrupted. But yeah, she's fully handmade. Okay, last question from Instagram. This is from Get Thin Pierce. What tech do you use to record? Camera, mic, especially? I just use my iPhone to record my TikToks and that's my dog. To record my TikToks and my reels. I don't use anything particularly special for a microphone. I just use the microphone that my phone has. I know some people will use their headset microphone to get a better sound, but I don't do a lot where I'm actually talking. And when I do, the sound that I get off of this is just fine. Thank you everyone for joining me today. I really had a great time answering all of your questions. If you have further questions for me, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. If you have things that you would like to share with other cosplayers who may be coming to this video and wanting to know about cosplay for the first time, feel free to leave your own tips and tricks down below in the comment section. I always love learning from other cosplayers. It's a wonderful community to be a part of, and I look forward to hearing from you all in the future. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so that when I answer your question or comment on your comment, you don't miss it. And with that, I'm just gonna say, don't forget to drink some water today. I'll see you next time. It's gonna be a little bit more orderly. That was not good. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you on that next. I'm just not gonna have an outro for this. Words are so hard. Why are words so hard?